Right, so New Jersey.
New Jersey.
So I want to know what you think of Jackie, first of all. Do you know which one Jackie?
Which one's Jackie again?
The blonde girl that Teresa was talking about her marriage.
Right, Jackie. Oh,
I hate her.
Do you know what? I like a cheese sandwich, so I can't really call that dry. But she is such a ham sandwich with like no butter, just 2 bits of bread and the ham in between. No cheese,
exactly what
no butter, just ham.
No,
ham and bread.
Ham and bread. No salad, no lettuce.
Nothing. Ham and bread.
That is the best way to describe her. I can't bear her.
When you said I shouldn't be watching the show to look forward to seeing your husband and your kids, I just thought, wow. I don't know. There's just not really much to her. And I feel like probably deep down she's a bit evil. I don't know. She's scary.
She has this. I feel like this happens with some of the new housewives where like they've watched the housewives and they want to be like, they think that they're bad. And she last season spoke about, there was pictures of Teresa holding like this random man's hand who none of us has ever seen ever again. And she was like, oh, he's my friend. And she was saying, oh, like she's cheating basically. And so she has already kind of accused Teresa of that. So Teresa's really only just coming back at her.
Okay, so it's her karma, and now she's getting upset.
And she also, there was a point where, so the last season where Melissa, because you know Melissa and Teresa are sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
And the dad who's died now, but he was Teresa's dad, he was living with her, and he was saying like, my son doesn't come to see me, like, and the son was saying, oh, I'm working all the time, like this is why I can't really see you. But the dad was still like, you never see me. And so Teresa was saying to Melissa, like, go and tell your husband, my brother, go and tell him that, you know, he needs to come and see his dad more. But say it in a way that he's gonna respond well and not get mad.
Yeah.
You know, and she's saying when you have a husband, you know how to kind of control him
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Teresa used the word control, and she was like, you know how to kind of control him. And then this random bitch Jackie, who they'd only just met, was like, oh, well, Teresa, do you think your husband would be where he is right now if you could control him? And at that time,
honey, you can't be talking like that. You can't be coming like that when you're a newbie. You've got to have time to marinate and let people even let you sink in. Like, you've got to have years behind you before people accept your fuckeries. So pipe down.
Exactly.
So pipe down and put some butter between those breads.
Exactly. And Teresa's husband was in prison at that time, and that's just so rude to say that.
No.
Like, and
that's
the
not
thing
happening.
is, and that wasn't what she was trying to say. She wasn't saying like you can control his every action. She was just saying control the way he's gonna, like, you know, be smart in how you tell it.
But that's just the way they edited it to make it look. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what
I don't.
Yeah, carry on.
I don't really know. That Margaret, she's the other blonde lady, isn't it? Who they did the mediation at her house. I wasn't too fond of her. I thought she was kind of maybe she's more friends with Jackie, I don't know. But she was definitely more taking Jackie's side and saying that Teresa deserved what Jackie said about her child snorting drugs in the toilet. I thought that was so inappropriate, so unacceptable. You've said, and as you just told me, she said this stuff about Teresa before. So Teresa's saying this is just your karma. Yeah. That's your karma. I don't care how messy she's been. I don't care. She's allowed to be. She's seasoned. So
I'm so glad you get it. Exactly. She's been around the block. She's been here forever. Like, Teresa can do no wrong.
She's allowed to be.
What did you think about
that? I don't even
know
any other housewife on New Jersey other than her. So what?
Exactly. Teresa does have this. Teresa has this way of like doing stuff which, like, she can actually do the most wicked stuff, and I'll always still support her in it because I'm just like, you know what, have respect for her because she deserves it. Don't know why. So what did you think about the coke
did.
snorting comment?
So that was such a low blow. That was unacceptable. And
Bad.
Teresa's good, because if that was me, she would have got bopped in her nose.
It. What would you do if someone said that? And the thing is, you watched it as well. Jackie was like, "Oh, it was an analogy," but I don't think that.
No,
I
you
didn't
did
take
not
it
say
like
it
that.
as an analogy. Not at all. If you
Thank
said it
you.
as an analogy, you would have said, Teresa, that's not nice, because that would be like me saying. But she said, well, I just heard it. I heard that Gia snorts coke in the toilets in the bathroom at parties. I don't know where I heard it, but I heard it.
Exactly. The way she said it, I actually thought she might have heard that, and she was saying it like, "Oh well, I've heard this."
Yeah.
So
No, she was being malicious.
and you
She was
don't
being
come to
malicious.
Gia. She was being malicious, and it wasn't an analogy.
Mm-hmm.
She's just saying that now to make it look like she's innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember? Have you ever seen episodes of Gia like before? Because you've seen New Jersey years ago, right?
I've watched maybe a few episodes here and there with you, but I didn't really watch it like properly.
Was you the one who said that you thought Teresa and her brother had fucked? I don't know if that
I'm
was
not gonna
you.
lie, that sounds like probably something.
Because I don't know if it was you who thought that was someone else.
Relationship, didn't they?
Yes, and I bring it up because in the episode, Teresa makes a comment to Melissa, something about, she asked her like, "Oh, do you come every time you have sex with my brother?" And then Melissa's like, "I don't want to talk about that with you sicko." And she's like, "Yeah, you always come with my brother, so therefore you don't need a dildo or something." And I just thought, I don't know, I really do feel like there is some tension between Teresa and her brother.
That's disgusting. And you know what? It's actually triggering some weird thoughts. I think I actually did say that, probably because I think I remember being a bit too close in like one of the episodes or something like that. I said, that's weird. Like, I'm all about being close to a family, and you know, I love that. Like, I'm very like tactile with my family.
Yeah,
I love to hug, I love to kiss, but that is like, that's too much.
It's something I don't know. I don't have brothers and sisters, so I don't know what's appropriate or not. But I don't know. That's a bit of an awful thing to ask. There's something weird with them too. I just think.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, there definitely is.
Something going on. Right. Okay. So where are we? Oh, I wanted to talk to you about Jen's mum and her dad. What did you think about that situation? Jen is you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're on about. Yeah. So she's Turkish, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought?
Do you like
her? So sweet. I don't really know. I've not really seen much of her yet. But I'll form an opinion shortly, I'm sure. But I don't know, like the dad seems really sweet. The dad seems so cute, like you just want to hug him. But then the mum seems like this cold, like icy queen. But at the end of the day, looks may be deceiving, so you never know. He could be the asshole, and she could be like that because he's been the asshole forever and she's sick of it. So you never really know the true story. And that it's an arranged marriage, so they never actually wanted to choose each other as each other's life partners. They had to. They had no choice.
Yeah.
So it's frustration. They're probably angry at each other for it, but they love each other at the same time because they've got children, family, grandkids. So, it's quite heartbreaking. I did feel a bit bad for the mum. I thought, why is she such a cow? But I do feel bad for her. I do. And the dad's still cute. She turned the other way. He's so
cute. That's the thing, like when the first episode you see that like he's like, oh, she's so mean to me, and like he's come and stay with the family. But then this episode, the second one, you see the mum's perspective, and it was like these are two people that have had an arranged marriage. So he might not necessarily even mean to talk to her in a nasty way, but he just might like be like done with this now? And they've been married for so long. And so I'm sure they get just pissed off with each other and they don't speak to each other in a very nice way, and it really hurts them.
Yeah. And it hurts their feelings.
Yeah. And so like it's interesting that Jen, who's the housewife, she saw like her dad's point of view and felt bad for her dad, but she'd never seen her dad speak to her mum in a negative way. And the mum said, oh, he does it behind closed doors. And I thought,
I mean, you're not going to let your kid, if you're going to, someone who's going to be vindictive isn't going to let you see that, are they? So
right. Very true.
It's one of them ones where she could be lying, she could be telling the truth. You never know, but it's, her hate and resentment hasn't come from anywhere, from nowhere. It's not come from thin air, it's come from somewhere.
Exactly.
So,
and I feel sorry for her because like they had a family dinner and like she didn't go, but she cooked loads of food to like give to them, and like,
and so she would have been sat at home on her own while they're all there together.
Exactly. And I was like, that is so sad. I love Jen's family because she has these really interesting stories. I don't like the housewife families. I don't want to see them, but her family are really interesting because last season she had a gay brother who, like, in their culture, it's not very, like, I guess,
it's frowned upon.
Yeah, you know how it is. Just like a lot of different cultures. And, but the mum wasn't like, and she was kind of anti, but wasn't so anti, but she didn't really acknowledge that the granddaughter asked the nan, she was like, oh, we was in church today. And, the pastor said something about like gays are not being good. And, but our uncle is gay. Like, does that mean that God doesn't love him? And I was like, wow. And the nan was like, no, he's not gay. Like, no, that's not. And she basically denied it. And then later on, she was like, no, like he is gay. And they kind of had and they had a conversation about it. And like the nan didn't really want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And, but in the end,
that's sad.
Yeah, it was sad, but it's like, this is a real thing. And it was good because then the main housewife, Jen, like explained to the nan, like, you know, this is different and this is, you know, it's okay. And in the end, he like performed, he plays piano at this like at this school, and he performed with the kids and played piano. And the mum was crying and she hugged him and said, I'm so proud of you for who you are. And it was like, oh, what a lovely story to see.
Do you know what it is though as well? You got like, not saying like this condones it or makes it acceptable, because it actually doesn't. But a lot of people, like it comes down to traditions and culture.
Exactly.
And you know, where they've come from, like, you know, as you could see, you know, her English isn't her first, she's not American. She wasn't American born. So values and stuff over there, they're different, you know, they've got different upbringings, like those things are frowned upon where she comes from. And when you've grown up with things like that are embedded in you, it's hard to come out of it naturally. So that's why God will then bless you with a gay son, so you can see that it's just a human there. It's a human just like me and you, like we're the same. My love is the same sex, that's all that it is. So I think even though she has that view, it's good, because having their gay son will teach her that she still loves her son. It's still her son. It's not going to change anything. He's still who he is. He's still making her proud. He's still hitting goals and smashing dreams and stuff. So what's the difference?
Exactly. I like that you said, you know, because she can, through showing her experience and that story, other people who have her similar views might see it and be able to warm to it.
Yeah.
And I like that you also said about God will bless you with, if you have these views, then God will bless you with a child who's like this. That's interesting that you think of it in that way. That's a nice
it's
thought.
It's the same with like racist people. A lot of the time they get blessed with a child of colour. And what happens? A lot of the time they end up loving the child. And it's just like, okay, so look at that blessing you've got. You've got a beautiful grandchild or a beautiful child there. So what's the difference? You're still going to love them.
That's so true. That's like that. I like that. Like, yeah. It's like it's God will bless you with this, because then you have to learn, and then you become a better person at the end of it.
Exactly. So if you can't see it on your own, then God's really going to show you.
Yeah. That's why I
The
really
universe
like,
is going to show you.
yeah, that's why I think it's good. Like Jen's family feels really real and authentic, and like I like that these stories are really being shown, because that's like, even just the dynamic between the mum and the dad, like that's really, I bet there's so many people who feel like that as well, like even
Yeah,
people who chose to be married to each other.
exactly.
And it's like
you get these problems in normal marriages, let alone arranged ones. So yeah,
it must be hard to be married for that long and always be okay.
yeah,
But you must know.
you must.
And
And this is why you shouldn't stick at it, because this is what happens in the long run. Everyone's just upset, and you know, because these are the last years of their life. It's not, you know, so you're going to be upset and happy because you could have left that person years ago and met somebody that could have made you happier or been happier on your own.
yeah. Candy's mum, Mama Joyce, she actually stayed, she was in a marriage, I don't know if it was with Candy's dad or another man. I think it might have been with Candy's dad, but they were really unhappy for, like, since Candy was a kid. I think they may have even been separated, but she never got divorced. And she says like that was like a really big regret, that she wasted all this time being stuck with a man and that she didn't love, but she was like not with him, but she never divorced him, never got with another man. I think she had a boyfriend. I don't know if Mama Joyce still has a boyfriend. But like, but you can see like look how negative she can be. Like that's a woman who's just had hurt and pain, and she can't let go.
Do you see what unhealthy relationships can do to you?
Yeah, don't do it.
You see?
And speaking of unhealthy relationships, Dolores, do you understand what's happening with Dolores? And by the way, Dolores is stunning to me. I just think she's beautiful.
I don't know what it is. She is. She's got like an attractive soul. If that makes sense.
Right.
She's got like, yeah. That's the only way I could really put it. But with her situation, her boyfriend, her doctor boyfriend, who doesn't want to marry her, seems awfully gay to me, but who am I to judge? Because I am not him. But that's the vibe I would have got. But, you know, is what it is. And the husband that's there checking out the arse, and then he's building the house for the boyfriend, but then he's living in the house. Is this a throuple?
That's what it's funny, because you haven't even like seen all the hype around it, but that is what everyone's like. They're in like a weird throuple. I don't. So she was married to Frank. You know, Frank is the bodybuilder. He's the like, I don't know,
the macho
action man.
Yeah,
he looks like he's made out of plastic. He's so like, and he doesn't breathe. He can't breathe through his nose, I don't think. So he's very like, there's something going on there. He was with Dolores. They have 2 kids, and then they divorced. And she's now with this other guy, David, who's bald and looks like those things that have you seen The Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Have you seen those? Do you remember Ursula? She used to turn the mer people into those little things. She used to turn them into those like little worm things that used to grow out of the.
You know, but as soon as you said The Little Mermaid, I was thinking, that's why I was like, yeah. I was thinking, because I love that film. I was thinking, what is he gonna say? What's he gonna reference?
He reminds me of those like things. Their eyes were like.
He does actually a little bit.
And he's just I was so surprised, because this episode where he was exercising or something with Frank. No, they went shooting.
Yeah.
And he went with Frank. So it's very strange that like he's her current boyfriend, but he's a doctor. So he's very big. He's a high-risk pregnancy doctor. So he's working 24/7, and he's a bit annoyed with her because she went and had her bum lifted.
Surgery, yeah. And, which is understandable though, because he knows the risks of it. Like, he's a doctor. This is his forte. This is his profession. He knows exactly what he's talking about. So that is completely understandable for him to be upset.
Right. He must see so many complications regularly.
Exactly.
But when he was with Frank and they were shooting and then they had a chat, I've never seen David more lit up, more happy, more joyful, more engaged. He loves Frank. Something is going on there. I think, I don't think he's gay. I think these are both very straight men, and I think they sexually are attracted to Dolores. Both of them still. I think Frank still wants to fuck Dolores.
Yeah, 1,000%. He still wants his exes. He wants that new booty.
Exactly. And she's looking more fire than ever, and he wants to tap that. He wants to tap that.
He wants to tap that.
Exactly. But when Dolores talks to David, he's literally like, like he's tired. He can't be bothered. He's like, Dolores, but when David was talking to Frank, he was so happy. I think that he fancies Frank. I think he fancies Frank. I think he wants to have sex with him, but and I think they both want to fuck each other, but they're very men and they're very straight. So they're like, oh no, I'm not gonna. So I'm just gonna be friends. I think a lot of straight men do this.
There's a lot of sexual tension there.
Yeah, but they're both not even acknowledging it to themselves. So they're just like, oh, this is my buddy Frank. And they love it. And really they wanna but they're not even acknowledging it to themselves. And I think that David doesn't want to break up with Dolores because he likes his friendship with Frank. I don't think David wants to be with Dolores, but I think he likes Frank. I think he loves being around. David loves being around Frank, and so he doesn't want to break up with Dolores because if that happens, then his friendship with Frank is gone. Frank has lived in this house that Dolores, by the way, Dolores was literally saying...
It's such a strange relationship. I cannot actually grasp it.
Isn't it so strange? Like, Dolores actually, they were building this house that Dolores' Frank is building for David, her new boo, and she was planning I want to move into it, but I'm not going to move into it unless he engages me. I want a ring, and he doesn't want to do that. But I want to do that. She wants to move into.
So why build a house with someone if you don't want to marry them?
Exactly. She designed everything. Was like, I want it like this. I want it like. She's designed that house ready for her to move in. She hasn't moved in, but her ex-husband's lived there and her son.
Her ex-husband and her son lives there.
Yep, her
son. So she's a house full of men.
House full of men. And no Dolores. And when Frank was laying that... relationship. What do you think about that, Takeisha? I mean, if you had a boyfriend who was more interested in having your ex-husband...
No, he wouldn't be my boyfriend anymore. Let's just put it that way. There's no way we're done in that. Done. Finish. See ya. It was nice knowing ya. Thanks for the good ride. You're a great person. Peace out.
Exactly. So you're not going to... No. You wouldn't be in a situation like that?
No. No way.
Have you seen Dolores' son?
I don't really pay attention to him, to be fair.
Is
he your type? Blonde hair, blue eyes?
No, I actually no. Well, yeah. Hitler's favourite. It was Hitler's type. It's my type. No. I might have to edit that out. I don't know if it's an appropriate joke.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the wine. I've been drinking too much. But I don't really find him attractive, but people do. It's a very...
See, I didn't even acknowledge him.
Yeah, I feel like this is a problem in your life, though. I feel like you just don't.
Does he actually have blonde hair and blue eyes?
Yeah, was that a joke? Did you not know that?
I just remember floppy hair. That's all I really remember. I didn't even look at him. I think maybe he had shorts on.
Definitely not floppy hair. So that's funny.
I really weren't acknowledging him then.
He was there. Yeah, that's a shame. I don't know if he's your type though.
Probably not.
No. What is your type, Takeisha? Tell us what your type.
How wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, we'd all like to know. Anyway, thank you so much for doing this.
No problem.
I'm gonna drag you back here to talk about the Housewives and everything else soon.
Drag me back anytime you want. I look forward to it.
By the way, I don't know if everyone knows that Takeisha is literally my bestest friend ever. Like, this is just so I want everyone to know. Like, I don't know if people know that the closeness. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not just, this isn't just someone I've
you're like my
asked
left
interview.
lung.
Exactly. So I'm so glad you're coming. You're here, and I love you.
Cheers, boo.
Cheers.
I've not got much effort just for you.
Your Lambrini.
It's not Lambrini, it's sparkling wine.
Oh.